But right now...
Hello and welcome to The One Show with Matt Baker
and Alex Jones.
And tonight, mentioned at the start of the show, Wayne Rooney became the latest in a long line of male personalities to turn back the clock on hair loss.
Yeah, it's one of the great taboos of male vanity, but for the majority of men, it's inevitable that their hairline will creep back just as other body parts start to head south.
You paint a lovely picture.
Yeah.
But is a hair transplant the miracle answer men have been waiting for? Well, the One Show barber Michael Douglas finds out.
As a hairdresser, my life revolves around all things hair, and nothing terrifies me more than losing my own. The sad fact is, since the dawn of time, man has been fighting to keep hold of his hair and losing badly. So what does the modern man think about it all? So, Judge, you're a hairdresser, and you've lost your hair. Is that a big issue?
I've still got a little bit.
Did you ever contemplate a wig?
No chance, no way, no hell, no way.
Wayne Rooney has had a hair transplant recently.
Yeah, I wish I had enough money for one of them. I mean, there's lots of people out there that are doing it these days. Gordon Ramsay, Shane Warne.
Why do you think men have such a hang-up about losing their hair in the first place?
Well, you just take it for granted for so long. It's something that you have most of your life, if you're lucky, and then it just goes.
What would you think if he was to lose his hair? Would you mind? Would you encourage the hair transplant?
I would mind, yeah.
Would you? Would you ever consider having a hair transplant?
Hair transplant, of course I would.
You would?
I don't need yet, but
don't
it might be in a couple of years.
Unfortunately, most of us can't afford the luxury
Absolutely.
Of a hair transplant.
So the alternative to that would be to wear a wig or a toupee. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, basically, I can assure you, I've worn many a wig in my life.
Hair loss, and the wig in particular, have endured a turbulent history. Invented by the ancient Egyptians, they used beeswax to stick them to their heads. Dodgy rugs have been the butt of jokes for centuries. So, Lynn, how is business in the male market of wigs?
It's very static. It's much better in the women's industry.
So do you think science and technology and all that kind of stuff will one day engulf the wig business?
Alopecia and male pattern baldness, I don't think they'll ever find a cure for that.
Whereas if they came here, ta-da! Can we put one of these on me and I can see how I feel?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
This is with custom made.
Okay.
So this is a made to measure for someone. Might be a little bit small for you. But there we go. 10 years younger.
Look at that, see? What are they complaining about, all those men on the streets? This is pretty good, actually. So according to Lynn in there, for some men, wigs are a good, affordable way of hiding hair loss. For me, I'm not so sure. But if you've got cash in the bank, then there is a more modern and permanent solution. The Wayne Rooney Special, a hair transplant. I've come to chat with Dr Farjo. He's one of the world's leading hair surgeons. So, how does it all work?
Well, hair transplants are about transferring hair from the back of the head or the sides, transferring them to the bald areas, and they work because the hair basically behaves in the same manner to where I took it from.
And if I was, let's say, 20% bald up here, how much would it cost for me to get a nice, thick thatch up there?
Typically talking about £8,000–9,000.
I've got an example of one that I can have a look at.
Yes, this is Mark.
How you doing? You all right?
Pleased to meet you, Michael.
This is a hair transplant, is it?
A living hair transplant.
So when Mark came to me, he was more or less completely bald in the crown, like a monk type thing. This result of one operation, I think it was about 2,100 grafts or something like that. This came from here, and you can just about maybe
see the scar. I mean, it's pretty impressive, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's something you can do something about if you've got the right donor hair and in the right situation. But yeah, it's something you can do something about. You don't have to be stuck with baldness.
Now, a miracle cure might still be some way off, but with modern technology, us men have some real alternatives. As for the humble wig, it's on its last legs, and to be honest, it's about time. I wonder if Wayne Rooney needs the number of a slightly camp northern hairdresser.
Thanks, Michael. Now, losing your hair, though, doesn't mean losing your looks. Earlier on, we took a little picture of Matt, and this is what he'd look like bald. Let's have a look.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, there we are.
What do we think, Penny?
Well, it's not bad, is it? Do you know what? The thing about bald is that it's about the shape of your head, isn't it? Because some people have awfully lumpy heads, a bit like Jerusalem artichokes, and that's probably not a good look if your hair just disappears.
You'd be okay, I think.